Hello, welcome to episode 25 of the Unscripted Pause. That's right, episode 25. I'm so excited about that. And I couldn't wait. Couldn't wait to record and get to this video. And I had thought about like having a guest. Maybe I'll try to have somebody on, but then I didn't know who I would invite and have on. And then I thought, ma'am, this is your thing. Don't have a guest on for 25. Celebrate you. You celebrate you. And that's what I'm doing. And so I want to take a moment to talk about celebrating ourselves and celebrating when we have milestones, things that we ourselves say, or it doesn't matter if anybody else thinks it's a milestone. It doesn't matter to me if anybody out there thinks 25 episodes is a milestone or not. I think it's a milestone. So I'm celebrating it. And that is, woo, like that's a place I am going to speak to myself like, look, as a person that has no kids, I don't necessarily have a hard time celebrating me or taking time for me because that's been my whole life. But I do sometimes have to recognize and sometimes make a big deal out of things that like, oh, good job. Like just okay, pat yourself on the back a little bit and say, good job, Diane. Like I had breakfast with a friend of mine today, and like we usually try to connect about once a month or something. But she's got like two kids now and she has a husband, a family, she's got a job, and so we hadn't really connected, that I didn't remember her birthday. I was like a day behind, and so we were trying to get together, but then it was like not working, and I made it all about me. hmm Yep, sure did. So when I saw her today, I was like, okay, I'm thinking like I've done something, and I was like, yeah, Diana. She was like, yeah, I'm like, that was not about you. I've been super busy with work, super busy with family, and so I'm saying that to say I don't have a problem making things about me, and I typically don't have a problem celebrating me. Um, but sometimes, occasionally, I do forget, or I'm not intentional around celebrating things that I've done. Or I may say like, "Oh yeah, I did so and so," and then somebody else will look at me and be like, "Diane, that's a big deal. It's a big deal." And I'm like, "Yeah, well, like especially like on the job, I was very good at not to take credit for things, trying to say like, well, no, we all did it. And we have to be able to say like, you know what, yeah, I did do that. And even in like doing a resume, I can remember the first time, not the first time I did my resume, but years ago, I was working on my resume and a friend of mine said like, hey, like you've done this, this, and this. And I was like, well, I didn't. Like I didn't do that. Like I didn't do that by myself. And they were like, but that like you're missing the point of the resume. Like that doesn't like these are things that got accomplished because you were in the role that you were in. And I had to take a step back and be like, oh, like yeah, yeah, they're right. They're absolutely right. Like, yeah, I think most people know when you look at resumes, like, yeah, maybe you didn't single handedly do that. But a lot of what happened is because I was in the role. And I attended an event at the community foundation here. As you know, I worked at the community foundation here and started as a scholarships manager. And one of the things I did in that role was start a community scholarship fund. That's not what it's called, but I'm trying not to like be super specific. But I started a community scholarship fund as the scholarships manager. And I went to this event at the community foundation the other day, and the scholarships manager that's there now, she gave some comments because they're restarting this community scholarship, and she mentioned, and she was like, yes, and this was like this was the idea of our prior scholarships manager, Diane Higginbotham, who's here. And and I really appreciated her doing that. I said something to her afterwards because I did do that because it's like, oh yeah, I did do that. That was because of me. And there's nothing wrong with celebrating ourselves and honoring ourselves. Like, yes, can we overdo? Yes, yes, we certainly can. But I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about overdoing it. But I'm saying honoring yourselves. Like I can easily honor other people. I extend grace to people. Yes. But okay, I could say kudos, Diane. I could say kudos to myself and good job to myself for things. I can do that and you can do that. And not being afraid to say like, yeah, I did that. And so for me, 25 episodes of this is a big deal to me. Um the fact that I've wanted, like over time, like it's come and gone where I really wanted to do something like this, but then never really did it. I started like years and years ago. Like I started and I maybe did it twice. Like I maybe recorded 2 videos and then I stopped. And so, yeah, so 25 episodes, big deal. Big deal, Diane. And I'm also going to see about so these videos are these videos. I don't edit whatever I say. Now, I have recorded videos and then not used them. I've done that. Or started and then 2 minutes into and been like, nah, this ain't working for me. So I've done that. But once I'm done and recorded, like I don't edit. Like I'm not trying to do things but I think in celebration, I'm going to try to do a little something. Maybe I'll throw a little something in at the end. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see what I can do, we'll see what my skills are. That's probably why I don't do anything because I don't have skills. But, and see, why did I say that? Why did I just say I don't have skills around? I know I'm talking around this, but it can be small things, small negative things that we say about ourselves. I'm sure I have skills enough to do a little something, to edit a little something into this video. It doesn't have to be perfect. See, I have taken this from celebrating ourselves to then I just talk negatively to myself, but caught it. But I caught that thing. But I probably won't catch 50 other times. That was negative. Oh my gosh. Whew. When you start trying to be around your life and intentional around when you speak negatively to yourself, when you give yourself grace, when you acknowledge your wins or just giving yourself kudos, when you start being intentional around that, it really makes a difference because you will really start to catch you will really start to catch yourself. And so maybe that's what I'll leave you with in trying to be intentional around rewarding yourself, acknowledging the good that you do, acknowledging your wins, even if nobody else sees it as a win, acknowledging those things, but also catching if you're like me and have a tendency to give yourself negative self-talk. Even something as small as you literally just saw, and again, I don't edit, so you're going to see it. Literally just saw what I said around like, I don't have the skills to like edit this video. Like, that's small. Like I admit that's small, but it's those small things that will add up and build up over time. You think I don't take that in? I said it aloud. I'm taking that in. So let's be intentional. Let's be mindful about these things. Yeah. So maybe that's what I'm leaving with. That's your like little call to action to start to be intentional. And so Until next time, thank you to those that have subscribed, to those that have been watching, those that have watched every episode. God bless you. I love that. And for the new subscribers, welcome. I hope you find yourself at home here with quirky little Diane saying the things, trying to speak my truth and trying to just come on here and be myself and be honest and say some things and hope that some things that I say and things that I've gone through and stories I may share will help someone else. That's all, that's like all this is for. That's all I'm trying to do here. So, until next time, be well.